Just coming from the pavilion and it's very hot. All right.
Nice to see you.
Very nice to see you. Thank you.
You have again a very interesting summer.
As usual, you know, I enjoy life. You can be CEO, but enjoying life normally. So, yes, I had a great holidays in several countries of the Mediterranean Sea.
Mm-hmm. I see that you have a very interesting piece on your hand.
Yeah, that's the...
Can you tell me more about it?
Exactly, that's the star piece, I would say, of Bulgari at the Genewa days. It's an octorama, but it's not any octorama. This is an octorama carillon Grand Sonnerie, which is new for two reasons. It's the first new Grand Sonnerie we developed since many years. And it's the first Grand Sonnerie ever, which is announcing time, hours, quarters, and minutes, with a melody which is different from the famous Westminster Big Band carillon. In the last 230 years, all Grand Sonnerie have the same melody, one melody only.
Can we hear it?
Yeah, I think the best thing to read, I've registered the classical Grand Sonnerie, so what you will find with Bulgari before this one, and with any other brand, because it's the same. Like if in music you had only the fifth of Beethoven. No Mozart, no Vivaldi, no Ninth Symphony, no, the fifth only.
Yes.
It's incredible. And in timing, we have today one symphony only.
Yes, true.
Yeah. Now we have two. So let's listen for memory. This is the existing Grand Sonnerie, Westminster. Never changed. Nice, by the way, but never ever changed. So now you will have a cut, and you will have the new one developed with Lorenzo Viotti.
So you added a third cam.
We we turn it from a regular interval to a three-tone interval, which in music is a dissonance. And indeed, during Middle Age, the church was very much against it because the church wanted to create harmony, to aggregate the believers.
Yeah.
And the dissonance creates
the sound
tension.
of the devil.
Exactly. And so, as Bulgari, we thought that Lorenzo Viotti's idea of the sound of the devil was a great idea because thanks to dissonance and the tensions created, we have something more lively, more dynamic, more vivid, and therefore we feel more contemporary and more Italian because we have freed ourselves from the norms which was dictated by the church more than 1,000 years ago. And today we have no more reason to be connected with any kind of church or religion. We have to produce the best potential music out of our charming watches.
So that means you will use this new development to import it in...
Well, first in the four gongs, the one I'm wearing, then in the three gongs, the tourbillon carillon. I don't have the piece here, but it's with Fabrizio. And the forthcoming Grand Sonnerie will use this new melody because it will provide Bulgari with a unique melody when all the other brands competing on that small but very prestigious market, unless they start huge works, will continue with Westminster.
That's a very, very interesting approach, and that leads me to my next question. It's about the entire world of Bulgari. The world now is changing. The concept of luxury is changing. Everything we know is changing. What was before meant as luxury, some of them now are normal. It's like having a watch. So for 50 years ago, to have a cool watch was something special. Now almost everyone has access to a cool watch. How is Bulgari adapting to this ever-changing world of luxury?
Well, you know, it's changing, yes and no. In the sense that jewelry, for instance, was created 15,000 years ago. And still, the way to craft jewelry has not changed a lot. and the appetite for jewelry has never been so high. So you're right that there are more luxury brands than ever, that's for sure, and there are more luxuries than ever because it's not only hard luxury, it's also hospitality, it's traveling, it can be a spa, it can be driving Formula One. I mean, luxury is huge and multifaceted. So I think that's the first news, that there are many luxuries nowadays, and so we don't compete against other watches. We compete for discretionary money of people who want unique experiences. And we have, through our watches, our jewelry, our hotels, our perfumes, our bags, to attract as much as possible of that discretionary money to those 5 pillars which are in Bulgari, instead of going to the Maldives or anything else. So there is a broader competition, and you have to understand that your competitor is not necessarily Patek Philippe or whatever. Your competitor can be a diving trip in the Maldives. And so you have to offer an experience because the product is not enough any longer.
Yes.
And the experience is not to take your clients to the Maldives, because it's not the point, but is to provide them with the opportunity to become really member of a community, to be stakeholders. Doesn't mean that they will craft the watches for you, but that inside out, you will take them into the backstage of what we do. You will teach them why you do something and you don't do other things. You will propose them some schools, you will propose them some workshops.
So make them part of the family.
Exactly. So that they feel that when we launch a new Bulgari watch, they are somehow part of it because they've been involved into discussions, they visited the manufacturer. And because we have 5 different categories, it's easier also to build a community because, okay, today they're not in a watch mood because they have already a few watches. What about, a wonderful weekend in Bali in the Bulgari hotel, which is another luxury. It's expensive as well, but it's pure emotion because when you pay the bill, you're left only with good memory. There's nothing additional on your wrist, on your neck. It's just a wonderful. And so, I think this future of luxury is to create more emotions. Whether you are in soft luxury or in hard luxury. Eventually, what people want is obviously to continue to enjoy beautifully crafted products of masterpieces, if it's hard luxury. But what they want foremost out of those pieces of craftsmanship or experience, as I mentioned, they want adrenaline, they want heartbeat, they want emotions, they want thrills, they want discoveries. And so throughout our 5 businesses, we have to deliver more emotions, more thrills, more surprises, more discoveries, which are connected somehow to the watch, to the necklace, but not necessarily directly connected, but helping them to feel part of an adventure and not only a client.
To make the Bulgari, to make a link in the head, an unconscious link to the good life, the happy life in all the aspects.
Yeah, and that Bulgari is part of the happiness. And this is why we are developing the hotels quicker than we did 10 years ago, because the best way, to feel part of a community is to spend a weekend or a week or a night in a Bulgari hotel, because all
full experience.
Yeah, and they're all community members because hotels are usually expensive. So if you go there, it's not because you will have a good bed, because our competitors have good beds as well. It's because you will have a unique experience. Otherwise, they wouldn't pay that money, for a sleep. So community building, I think, is essential for the future of luxury. And obviously, ethics, transparency, because people now, they want to know beyond what they see, what's behind.
The watchmaker, the materials, the technologies.
But also management. Are they good people? Are they honest? Do they treat their people well, or don't they do it? Are they really serious when they talk about sustainability, or is it just to reassure you but they don't care? So being honest, transparent, authentic is hugely important. And some companies, because of their culture, and Bulgari is part of them, are naturally transparent. Generosity has ever been part of the Bulgari family. Nicola Bulgari has created his foundation 30 years ago to give back to the Roman society what Roma had brought to his family, who was from Greek origin. And this foundation still goes on. We have created the Bulgari Foundation, which is not Nicola Bulgari. Nicola is more in the field of music. We are more in the field of art, architecture, and education. That is complementary. But we ever gave back, and more than ever also, companies who can afford to give back to their community will win the heart of the potential clients much better than selfish companies which go only and strictly for profit to the stock exchange, to the shareholders. We do also our share. I mean, Mr. Arnaud expects from Bulgari profits, but he is very, very appreciative of the Tolonia Foundation initiative rather than being the main partner of the Maxi Museum in Rome, which is a futuristic laboratory of modern art. This year, thanks to Bulgari, there will be the first digital arts award, never existed before. So we also want to pioneer the future of art and not only to contribute to the restoring of antique art to its former glory. So we want to play on the both sides.
You put your foot in the future.
Yeah, and also because art has inspired us. Yes. So it's our mission also to foster new artists and new art, so that also the future watchmakers, master jewelers, be inspired not only by the art of the Roman Empire or the Baroque, but the art of the 21st century, because we need it.
Sounds great for Bulgari.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And a final question, a tricky one.
Tell me.
You had a good collaboration with a friend of yours a few years back with a very beautiful watch, MBNDF.
Yeah, Max, of course. Yeah.
Do you still want to collaborate and make watches with others? Also with Max as well? Or?
Well, Max is an amazing person first, and we love to work with good persons. I was talking about authenticity, honesty. He's really a great friend of mine. He co-founded with me the Genewa Watch Days. I mean, he's part of the people who, after 10 minutes on the phone on a Saturday morning during COVID, fully embraced the concept.
It's the best event of the year.
Oh, thank you.
Hands down.
So, collaboration, yes. With Max would be great, because the first one has been a huge success. Not only commercially, but very, very stimulating for his team and Bulgari teams. Because it's very rare, or I think it never happened before, that two different teams of watchmasters, designers, work together, even though they belong to different companies, which are not even in the same group. Because it was really... there will be future collaboration, I think, rather sooner than later. But this, I cannot be more specific now.
It's okay, I'm just happy to hear that something...
So this is brand to brand, and there will be also in parallel brand to artist and artist to brand.
Fantastic.
So this year we are finishing the fourth season with Tadawando on the Serpenti. We release now the full with the Tiger Eye dial, which is mirroring the autumn. Then we'll deliver in December the Mother of Pearl mosaic, which is white, of course, because it's winter. And we'll end up, with spring, with a pink, which is the blossoming of nature. And we are releasing and presenting now in Geneva a collaboration with Laurent Grasso, who is a French artist, famous for his paintings on the very high sky clouds, who have particular shapes, very inspiring. And so we'll have a new Octo Finissimo limited edition with Laurent Grasso. So we are very involved in art because we are Romans, but we don't limit our collaboration to Italian artists. Tadawando is Japanese, Laurent is French. So artistry for us is universal, it's not national.
I think it's a fantastic symbiosis because you bring a fresh air and new dynamics into the brand. At the same time, the public can know new artists that otherwise will be known just on
because
only
Tadawando
small
until
circle.
a few years back was not so famous out of Japan. Now he's a superstar. Laurent Grasso has good awareness, but more French today, and we can contribute. Another collaboration we celebrated yesterday with a rock concert with Johnny March is a Fender collaboration with Bulgari Aluminium. Here again, this is speaking to a generation to which I belong, the 80s. But it's important, because all brands are obsessed by Gen Z, but Gen Z is, let's be frank,
Just a part.
it's starting, they have no money. So they are important because they are tomorrow's clients. And in the meanwhile, they can be gifted a nice watch by their parents. So they're important. But we should never forget that the main source of business for us is old millennials and Gen X. And so with Fender, we are right in the middle of Gen X.
Great. Fabulous. That's very cool ideas. I love that.
Well, I foster my teams to come up with things which are connected to art, a way or another. Collaborative, because when you collaborate, you learn. And obviously, somehow consistent with everything we've done in the past, thanks to those Roman origins, which make us very inclusive, because the Roman Empire has dominated the world because it has absorbed the best from Egyptians, from Persians, from Etruscans, rather than from Phoenicians. And as Bulgari, we pretend to perpetuate that tradition of absorbing and then improving. And this, we do it, I would say, at 360.
As you said, giving back.
Exactly, which I think we have the privilege to be a profitable company. And therefore, I think it's fair to give back to our community, to society, to young artists, what has contributed to make us, already since decades, a wealthy company.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was very interesting. Thank you so much.